Hi everybody, Zen Ren. How are you? Happy summer solstice. Welcome to my deck. How are you feeling? It's an awesome day here. You can probably hear the birds chirping and the golfers golfing. Sunny's right here with me, and seeing as how our Jeff Epstein thing isn't going as fast as I hoped, I thought let's just do a fun summer solstice reading for us. So hopefully in this reading that I'm going to do, there's a little message for you, for me, for your neighbor, for the guy down the street. It's a general reading, but there'll probably be a nugget for everybody. That's how the cards work. So, all right. Let me move the fire. And I'm going to use a deck of cards. I think they're called the Good News cards or something. Anyways, they're beautiful. They're dreamy and watery and mystical, and I love them for love, when people want to answer love questions. So we'll use that as our big deck, and then we'll use our very sexy Italian cards, because, you know, summer is a flirty season when we feel young again, right? So, gosh, it's nice to see everybody. I can't see you, but in my mind I see you. And I just been thinking about this, thinking about my folks that like to get a cup of tea and enjoy just sitting and having a little natter. So, hi guys. And again, depending on what time of day it is, make sure you do have a beverage, because there's something about tarot cards and sipping. You have to let it percolate, right? Steep. At first it doesn't make sense, and then just stuff starts, the puzzle pieces start to lock in, and that's what makes it fun for me. So, why aren't I shuffling? Good question. What have I got on my housekeeping here? So yes, the Jeffrey Epstein story with Glenn Kirshner that we were going to follow along. Well, old Glenn's been pretty busy with all the hubbub that's going on down in the States. So I think he's neglecting us true crime people, but that's okay. We have all summer to do it. So I'm not worried about that at all. And like I said, this is sort of like these little pick 3 readings, except there's no choice today. It's just, I'm just focusing on the sort of the break over into summer. The days actually start getting shorter again. Can you believe it? Oh well. It's just like today we're as young as we're ever going to be. You know, you don't want to think about it, but it's true. And in a way, that should motivate you to get moving. All right, we had a jumper. The jumper is the 7 of water. In this deck, that would be the 7 of cups. The 7 of cups is the choices. Emotional choices that have emotion tied to them. Maybe a decision needs to be made that in matters of the heart, or maybe it's something you have so much invested in that you're emotionally attached to, say a property, you're trying to buy a house or something, but so it's not only is it a decision, it's a decision that affects your heart. It's not just straight up business decisions. And that's the important part about this card, the heart part, because in the 7 of cups, there's a snake and a ghost and a big pile of money and a castle and some mystery that could be good, bad, ugly, nobody knows. And that's the warning with the 7 of cups, is your heart might do the thinking. Be careful. There's many roads to Rome, and some of them are not safe. So don't get so swept up in the emotion of the choice that you don't use the old noggin and make a rational decision. So, hey everybody, we're going to be faced with a choice. That's exciting. So we'll leave that up. See how it plays in with the rest of the reading. I'm going to bring you down and we'll lay out the cards and we'll come on up and talk about them. Oh, and maybe you want to go and take this opportunity to quick get them stretchy pants on. Wait till you see this deck. It is gorgeous. Huge though. Huge. And if you are an old lady with arthritis hands, these are the hard ones to deal. All right, we got our first card. Here we go. Who else wants to get out of this deck? Let's see. Oh, some fuzz off of something there. Now we may pull more cards. I'm just going to lay down the basics here because they're so big. Oh, and I turned that over, didn't I? Oh. Oh, dear, oh dear. This is going to be interesting, folks. Looks like somebody needs a reading. I hope it's not me. It could be, though. We've had a bit of drama around here lately, so it could be me, too. Oh, I also want to just, before we get going, I want to talk about the Ballows. Oh, my God, did I get that wrong? I have been so upset about that. I just, I honestly believe, I can't believe that mothers do that. I just... This is beyond crazy now. I think this was a failure of imagination on my part. I could not even imagine that scenario, but just a gall darn shame. And I don't want to say gall darn, I want to say a bad swear. But I'm not gonna. It's Father's Day. Isn't it? Yes. Happy Father's Day, any fathers out there, or any mums that do the father business too. Oh, alrighty. Everybody kind of turned off their day-to-day business, ready to, the birds are giving me what for, ready to see what rabbit hole we're about to go down. Here we go, I'll turn these cards. And then we're going to come up and talk. Let me grab a Kleenex because I'm outside and you know how me and my allergies do. Ready? Here we go. Ah! I don't know why one eye closes whenever I do that. I think because I'm afraid I'm going to upset everything. All right. So the overall energy of the deal to me is this choice. Something's coming up in our lives that's there's going to be many options. And I laugh. Oh, I forgot to turn that over. Huh. I love it when hinky stuff happens. It means I gotta think here, and it usually is interesting. So big choice. What was on the bottom is, remember when I said the trouble with the Seven of Cups is that we get so heart set on something that it clouds our good judgment. The sort of the rumbling, you know, like the noise the tires make when you're in the car, you can hear that brrr. This is the bottom of the deck, and that's kind of what it is. And this is the Tower. So this could end up being one of those, I'm at the lake, here's a perfect example. We have to have a boat. I love this. People move out here, they get a boat. There's probably 10% of the people who have boats use them and get their money's worth. Probably 50% maybe get them in the water every year. And there are boats here that cost tens of thousands of dollars that I've never seen them take the shrink wrap off. And I've been here years. So it's one of those. So now I'm stuck with a boat we never use, and all that money's tied up on it. And the trouble with boats is every other person in the world's got a boat. They're thinking they should get rid of. So this could really turn out to be a stinky situation. It isn't necessarily, but there's some, be careful you don't step in a cow pie, like kind of thing. There's an opportunity to step right in it. And with that, the tower is the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is the rules. Think of it like almost like the police, bylaw officer, the regulations, licensing, just things we have to do, like with the corona thing happening now, or COVID thing happening now. This is what as a society we have to do to all pull ourselves through this together. It's sort of the things that are expected of us that really don't benefit us personally perhaps, but everybody does it because it's the right thing to do for the group, if that makes sense. So we'll see where that plays out. What's happening in the middle right now for all of us? Two of Fire, Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is the active waiting card. Maybe something is within your grasp. In the original Rider-Waite deck, the man holds the globe, the world, in one hand, and like he's got his whole future sort of, and he's not sure what the next thing's going to be, but he's sort of sensing it, so he's actively waiting. He's decided not to go out. He's decided he's done everything he can to prepare. For example, let's say, has his emergency fund put away, and he's done his retirement investment, so he's got a little bit of jingle that isn't spoken for, and he can, but he's going to wait to see what comes his way. He's not going to just blow it. He's waiting, active waiting. Active waiting is kind of fun for me because it's when I have that sense of, I just feel like a spring in my step, right? I'm not sure what's going to happen today, and it usually ends up being I meet a lady at the lineup in the grocery store or something, and some kind of a meeting is what happens, and then it sparks another thing, and it ends up with me being creative or getting another plant for my garden from some lovely person I met somewhere just on an off chance. So that's active waiting to me, is be prepared to be surprised. And if you can relax and be prepared to be surprised, it's kind of like Christmas, especially when you're old and you can buy whatever you want. There's very little things I want anymore. If I want something, I can go get it. So when it's happy little surprises, like example, for me, it's, meet a lady, we get talking about gardening, and she says, oh, yes, and I wind up with a chunk of her plant, Oh, what was on top of that active waiting? Look at this card. This is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is activity. So you're waiting, and this was also a wand. This is like something's percolating. The water's beginning to bubble. And what a great card. The gate, there's a gate, and the gate's going to open soon. And when you pass through the gate, you'll be under a rainbow. So this is not a major card, but it speaks of something that could really increase the enjoyment of your life. I mean, and maybe it'll even just be something like you'll learn something that allows you to stay in that rainbow state, because we know the rainbows come after the rain, right? So maybe what it'll do is teach you something about yourself, how wonderful you are, or how strong you are, or how empathetic you are. Some great core value this challenge might make you test that. And I think that's what the rainbow is. Because rainbow, much like joy, is almost an illusion, right? It's how the sun and the moisture is hitting and the prisms and all that jazz. Joy's like that too. The only way you can find joy is here. It sounds so simple and stupid and weird, but it is. And when you let people make you angry, you're allowing it, and they are getting your joy. So when you figure out how to just think, you're not taking my joy, you can live in the rainbow land, right? I sound like I'm in the rainbow land, but no, it's true. It's true. When you stop living to please others, or just running on this treadmill of trying to be the perfect parent and raise these kids and, be a block parent, and just that's part of what I wonder what's going to happen after we get back to normal life in a year or so, is how many people will slow the hell down. And if you look in here, there's a meteorite hits the ground. Again, sort of like this tower. But look, it's on the other side of the gate. Something's going to be a challenge. Isn't that interesting? Let's see where we're going. So that's us right now. This opportunity. Something's afoot, and we can feel it. We're actively waiting. We're just sort of, I'm going to make sure I do my hair and makeup every day, because maybe Mr. Right's coming to ring my doorbell. It's one of those things. How are we presenting to the universe right now? How are we coping? What could we all say about ourselves if sort of like a Facebook profile to the world? This is what we're pushing out to the world. Look at this beauty. 10 of water. 10 of cups is in the other deck. I'm sorry I keep referring to it, but it helps. And I know there is a couple of card readers that tag along here. So, and for me as a card reader, I'm fascinated by what they see in the cards. So in the Rider-Waite, this is the rainbow card. And there again, it sits right up over the head of the people in the card. So fascinating that you would get both. But he's a very happy Buddha. This is that sense of contentment, that sense of peace and joy. The Buddha, right? He it's just that simple. If you've read any of it, it's just that simple. And so right now you're kind of sitting happy, content. Things are going well. As a matter of fact, the energy on your going well is the Hangman. The Hangman in this instance is, like, to me, a little bit of spring fever. Like, maybe we all have been clamped down too long, and now we're all getting kind of itchy, wanderlust feeling. And so this isn't a bad card, but it talks about 1 foot in reality and sort of 1 foot in fantasy, or you're straddling 2 spheres, right? Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong, but it talks of sort of you're caught in the middle. You don't know what to do, probably because you have these 7 choices, and that's just fine. Kind of enjoy it. Just savor the opportunity to explore and try on different ideas and kind of live with every option. You have time, apparently. And if you screw up, it'll be awful. So yeah, let's savor away. But from the outside, everything's looking peachy keen. What about inside, though? Honestly, how are we feeling? 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is the Martyr card. In this case, you can see she's juggling. She's juggling fire. And with it is Temperance. And Temperance is sort of the juggling of the water, right? That's how you keep more water than you have room for. That's how you can keep it without spilling it, is you pour it back and forth. And so here she is juggling, and here she is juggling. And juggling, maybe you've been really good with your money. Maybe you've been really good, and maybe you need a little treat. Maybe you haven't had a dinner out. Maybe you haven't, been able to do anything that you enjoy. And that's why you're feeling this sort of a bit constricted. Yeah, I'm managing. Everything's fine. I've got it all. The balls are in the air. But you're starting to feel like a little martyr in you. Like, but I need I gotta have my girl wine night. Or I haven't had a good golf weekend, man. I don't know what men like to do, so I'm assuming that. So that's how you're feeling inside. Again, not bad cards at all, because this talks to somebody holding the line, keeping, you're allowed to think whatever you want as long as you've got control, right? As long as you're not letting your thoughts take you on some wild goose chase. Go ahead, think whatever you want. And this talks of, I'm okay. I've got both feet on the ground and I'm holding my own. So the old happy Buddha is not, you're not just putting on a brave face for the public. This is probably deep down inside, if you stopped everything and said, at this very minute, really? Is my life terrible? Well, no, I'm safe, and for right now, I'm not hungry, and for right now, I have a glass of water. And so sometimes you just have to dial it down to just the minute to snap yourself out of that wheel of what is this, the stirring? What's the driver behind this? The Ace of Water. The Ace of Water is the Ace of Cups, and the cup is an offer. And again, it's emotional. So I don't know if this is like a vehicle you've had your heart set on. Maybe it's a pregnancy test that's half pink, half blue, and it could go either way. Maybe it's your dream house. Maybe it's your dream fella or girl. I don't know, but this offer is something that really is important to you emotionally. So either you have a sniff of this offer is coming, or the fact that there's going to be many choices. Maybe you're going to run in, say if you're in the dating circle, maybe what's going to happen is you're going to end up for some reason meeting a lot of eligible people. And here you were just wanting one cup, and now you have 7 to choose from. And again, you've been feeling this is the sword, so this is mental. This is the mental hurdles you've been jumping over. This guy is ready to go. Like you're almost like those horses before they let them loose on the race, and some of them jump up on the starter things and stuff. That's how you feel. Like you've been, like I said, you've been constrained. You've been real good, right? I've been real good so far, and you're just starting to chomp at the bit. Except in this case, it's a bird bit. But the thing with this is, watch you don't get swept away, because this guy's a little out of control. And how I remember him is heads up. So again, this is interesting, hey? Well, it is for me. I don't know about you. What might happen? What should you be watching out for? Again, these are great cards. Justice. And justice is covered with victory. So the Hierophant talks about the rules, like I said. So I don't know, maybe in your condo you're not allowed to have 2 vehicles or something, and really or maybe there's some kind of a rule like that you're gonna, in order to fulfill this dream, you might have to challenge. Maybe you're getting a big new motorhome and you got to go get a different class of license, for example. I don't know. There'll be some kind of a rule, almost a legality, justice. But don't worry. If it does pop up, if you do need to address it, this isn't a for sure, this might happen. You're going to be just fine. The Six of Wands is victory, a small victory that really doesn't cause any damage or kerfuffle. It might sort of be like, ah, but it's fine. As soon as you sort of figure it out, jump on it, fix it, no harm, no foul. There's other victory cards that are literally nothing but smoldering dirt by the time you're done getting it all mopped up. Nope, this is small and maybe just literally something like that you need to get an air brake ticket or something. You know, I know it sounds crazy, but who thinks of that when they're buying a motorhome? I don't know. Maybe they tell you. I don't have a motorhome. What will happen? The Magician. Look at this guy. I love this guy. He looks like a magician, doesn't he? I love these cards. The Magician is he's kind of a great guy in that he can take a he's in one way he's full of hot air and he likes to pull illusions, bouquet of flowers out of his sleeve, that kind of thing, sleight of hand. But in another way, in the real world, magicians can be helpful because he's the kind of guy or gal that, say, people drop in and all he's got is a dozen eggs and an onion and 2 pieces of bacon, and he can whip up some kind of crazy quiche or something and get 6 people fed, and like magic, and nobody would even notice. So maybe this is you, maybe this is your partner, maybe this is someone you're going to deal with. I get the feeling with this is maybe whatever you're going to run into here with the Justice, this guy's going to pull a rabbit out of a hat. Whatever you're going to be faced with, I think it won't be too much problem for you because this person will be at your disposal. And they're very creative, and they're not afraid to sort of just say, whoop, oh, let's just fix that right now. So, and what's he covered with? The Knight of Pentacles. This night, he doesn't even have a horse. He's got the old oxen there because he is a plotter. In the Tortoise and the Hare, he's the tortoise. But who wins the race? The tortoise or the hare? The tortoise. So, again, excellent card. This talks of steadfast growth. If you're talking about an investment, something that you hope will accrue value, yes, it'll be slow and steady. It won't be a rocket ship to $1 million, but maybe if you were investing, say, in a property or something like that, you could expect it steadfast growth. Nice. So that is going to happen. There is an opportunity to acquire something that's going to be steady, that's going to hold its value, and especially hold its value for you, because we know we're already bought in our hearts to whatever this is. I'm curious what it's going to be for me. Who knows? And what do we need to know going forward? Again, this waiting. Page of Water. This Page of Cups. In the Rider-Waite, she has a fish in her cup. Look where the fish is on her head. This is the kind of kookiest card in this deck. This little girl with a tail and a fish. What it is, again, the Page is a communicator. And while the knights on their horse or their ox, they are the movement. They're the stuff is starting to happen. The pages are sort of the build up, the thinking, so he is a communicator. So the Page of Cups is, you're going to somehow run into, again with all these cups, you're going to run into somehow something's going to be communicated to you. Maybe you're going to get a flyer. Maybe you're going to see a testimonial on YouTube, or something's going to be delivered to you, some kind of a message, and it's going to spark. That fish is what the spark is, right? Somebody hands you something and there's a fish. It's odd. You have to start thinking. You have to kind of get out of your regular rut, because you never fish. But when you have to stop and think, why is the fish in the cup? It's a twist. Again, this twist, like I say, you had this justice, something's going to pop up. You had the magician who might be able to just solve that for you right away. And here you have this twist in the cup. You know, from this 7 of Cups, there's a whole bunch of options. You know, it's almost that. Yeah, spin the wheel, you take your chances. What's on this offer, this communication? What does it say? 4 of Swords. 4 of Swords is stop. Stop, drop, and roll. That's what I'm thinking. But it's just stop for a minute. Like we said at the very beginning, with this emotional decision, that's where your greatest weakness lies in the next little while, is to get yourself so caught up, so determined to get whatever it is that you've got your eye on, that you kind of either waste your money, waste your energy, waste your time, make a foolish decision, and not get as much, and it won't be as wonderful as it could be. I don't see anything in here that says disaster except this, and this is a real low, like you'd have to make a series of bad decisions to get this. The tower doesn't fall over from one bad decision. You kind of have to eat away at the foundation. So keep your eye, you know, sort of look where you're driving, you know, look out into the future a little bit, and just sort of every day think, will I see it today? Whatever this is. And just keep your eye open and sort of play games with yourself. I love doing that. I'll be sitting at a stop sign and I'll think, is today I'm going to meet the, you know, person who's going to tell me something that's going to change my life or whatever. And I look over and the guy, and you know, he's rocking out, and you look that way, and a lady, she smiles at you, and no, not them, but nice people. So let's kind of keep in touch and see what it is. I have nothing in the works, but I do admit I am feeling a little spring fever, or what was that in the comments? Oh, it was hilarious. Shack wacky. From being trapped in the house. One of the subscribers said, even your dogs are getting shack wacky. And I thought, oh, that's so cute. I'm going to keep that. I'm stealing that. Anyways, we're running long as usual, but I just wanted to pop in, say hello. I'm really having fun with this, and yeah, take care, everybody. I hope you have a great summer solstice, and a happy Father's Day, and a happy Unfather's Day. Like, what is it? A very happy unbirthday at Alice in Wonderland. So say bye, Sandy. See ya.